The Department of Public Works and Highways, or DPWH, is the government agency responsible for the planning, design, construction, and maintenance of public works and infrastructure in the Philippines. The DPWH primary mandate is to ensure the efficient and effective development, maintenance, and operation of the country's infrastructure network. This includes roads and bridges, construction, rehabilitation, and maintenance of national roads, bridges, and other infrastructure. Next is the buildings and structures. Construction, rehabilitation, and maintenance of government buildings and schools, hospitals, and other public structure are constructed by DPWH. Next is the water resources, development and management of water resources infrastructure, including dams, irrigation system, and flood control projects. Also, the airport and seaport development, construction and maintenance of airports, seaports, and related infrastructure, also handled by the DPWH. Lastly, the disaster risk reduction, implementation of infrastructure projects aimed to mitigating the impacts of natural disasters. So how DPWH, or Department of Public Works and Highways, secure their funding? The Department of Public Works and Highways, or DPWH, secures funding for its infrastructure projects through the variety of sources. First sources is that the national budget allocations. The primary source of funding for DPWH projects comes from the national budget, which is allocated by the Philippine government through the General Appropriations Act, or GAA. This annual budget includes specific appropriation for infrastructure development. Next source is the Public-Private Partnership, or PPP. The DPWH actively promotes and utilizes PPP to leverage private sector resources and expertise for infrastructure development. These partnerships involve agreements where the private sector contributes funding, construction, or operational expertise in exchange for return on investment, often through long-term contracts. There is also the international loans. The DPWH also seeks fundings from international financial institutions such as the World Bank, Asian Development Bank, or ADB, and other development partners. These loans often come with specific conditions and requirements, but they provide access to significant capital for large-scale infrastructure projects. They also seek fundings from the local government units, or LGUs. LGUs may contribute funding for local infrastructure projects within their jurisdiction. Next is the donation and grants. The DPWH may receive donation and grants from private organization or foundation for specific infrastructure projects. Lastly, special funds. The DPWH may receive funding from special funds allocated for specific purposes such as disaster relief or rehabilitation. Is there any rules and position within the DPWH? Yes. The DPWH has rules and position within the agency. First is the secretary. The DPWH is headed by a secretary appointed by the President of the Philippines. Next is the regional directors. Each of the 18 regions in the Philippines has a regional director responsible for DPWH activities in their jurisdiction. Lastly, Chief District Engineers, or CDEs. The 83 district engineering offices are headed by CDEs. In conclusion, in this news, The DPWH, or Department of Public Works and Highways, is working hard to build and maintain important infrastructure in the Philippines. They face challenges, but they are committed to making things better to way for everyone. Their work will continue to improve the country for many years to come. Thank you, and that's all. Back to you.